Okay, so this is the equation that we ended up in our last video. So now we're going to sketch that. Here's the equation again. And I've put all the data that we need in order to sketch it. Now, we know that the period is 2.5. So they asked us to sketch 3 cycles. I say, let's sketch 1 cycle, and then I'll show you how to draw the other 3 cycles, okay? So first, we know that the equation of axes is this, 28.5, and we know that the period is 2.5 and there's no phase shift. So we can start right away at the 0 mark. So let's do that. Let's draw this. Let's draw a line like this. Let's sketch this. By the way, these are obviously sketches. They're not to scale. But what's more important to me is that you label all the important information, the key points, where the period begins, where the period ends, that sort of thing. Okay, our equation of axes here is 28.5. So let's draw that. I'm going to do it with a dotted line. And label it at the end here, y equals 28.5. That's meters. Over here, this will be our 0 minute mark. So let's label this as t equals 0 minutes. Okay. Over here, we know that the maximum, because that's what we gathered, we know that the maximum will be 56.5 meters. So let's do that right here. So I'm going to make it, let's extend this a little more. I'm going to make this 56.5, that's our maximum, and our minimum, about the same distance more or less, will be 0.5. Okay, maybe I should extend it just a little bit more here at the bottom, just in case we need to. Okay, t equals 0. Okay, and of course that's our equation of axes. Okay, I could actually put it here to a 28.5 meters. Okay, now we are using y equals, where is it? Y equals negative cosine x as our base. We start at the bottom, then we go to the top, and then at the bottom again. Okay, now, and we also know that the period to complete, the time it takes to complete 1 cycle is 2.5 minutes. Okay, so if we start at the bottom, we go to the top, and then we end up at the bottom again. So about there, that will be 2.5 minutes. So that's 1 complete cycle. So I would label this as 2.5 minutes. Okay, now divide this in 4 parts. So halfway between those 2 points is about there. Halfway between these 2 is about there. Halfway between these 2 is about there. So between 0 minutes, between 0 minutes and 2.5 minutes, right? It's actually, that's, how much would that be? That would be 1.25 minutes when you put it in your calculator. Or maybe you can tell more or less what it would be, right? Half of 25 is 12. Equivalently, 1.25 would be halfway between those 2. Okay, what's halfway between these 2 points? 0 and 1.25. So let's label this, right? 0 point, I'm getting 6125. And between these 2 points, 1.25 and 2.5, that's another, so add this plus that, and that would give us 1.875. Okay, and now we know that our base function, look at this, y equals negative cosine x. You start at the bottom, and then you go reach the maximum, and then you go down again, back to the bottom. So same idea here. You start at the lowest point, you start at the minimum, you're going to cross that point, and then we're going to reach that point, and then we're going to reach this, and then we're going to be finishing right here for 1 complete cycle, okay? So we go something like this, okay? once again, this is not to scale, but the important thing is that you're showing me the key points here. Now, if you really want to draw the y-axis, I guess if this is 0.5, that's 20.5. It will be roughly, definitely below that. That will be our, right? And you would label these as well. Okay, this is t, and this will be our y in meters, okay? Y. And that's essentially it. That's how you graph this function. That's one cycle, okay? In our next video, let me show you how to do 3 cycles. It won't be long. Well, in fact, let's do it on the same video. So, okay, if we know that it takes 2.5 minutes to complete 1 cycle and they're asking us to do 3 cycles, so I say, let's do it this way. So I'm just going to write, this is our 3 cycles, right? If I ask you to do this, of course, only for the first cycle, show me all the key points. And for the next 3 cycles, you don't have to show me every key point. I will accept something like the following, okay? So once again, let's draw our beginning of the cycle, right? Let's draw our equation of axes, which is 28.5. I hope I'm not off the screen and you guys can see this. Yeah. And this is going to be our y equals 28.5 meters. There's a maximum here of 56.5 and a minimum of 0.5. Okay, and it takes 2.5 minutes to complete 1 cycle. So if we start at the bottom, we go at the top, and then we end here, and maybe there, right? Maybe there. So that's 2.5 minutes, right? Plus another 2.5, right? About there. That will be 5 minutes. Plus another 2.5. Okay, I almost made it. I almost miscalculated this whole thing. That's 7.5. Okay? And then, of course, each of these divided in quarters, right? So halfway between there, halfway between there, halfway between there. And another one here, halfway between those two, between these two and these two, halfway between these two, and these two. And of course, we start at the bottom, we go there, we reach the max point, then we go back to the equation of axes, and then we end up here. So that will be 1 complete cycle, you know. There you go, something like this. Complete cycle, then you go up like that. And there's another one here. Let's do this line here. I think it helps to sort of keep track of it. And let's bring it back again over here. Sorry, I almost made a mistake. Yes, and then that's it, you know. So that's 1 cycle. That's another cycle. I hope you guys can see this. Yeah. There is, oh shoot, you see, I'm rushing a bit. There's another cycle there. And like that. Okay, the last cycle, I have to admit, didn't come out as good as I wanted to, but just don't want to keep these videos too long. Okay, let's fix it now. Let's fix it. Yeah, much better. All right. Okay, so that's it. So that's how you would complete 3 cycles.